Alright guys, welcome back to VALORANT News. The World Championship is well underway. The first round of group stage games are done. The deciders in terms of who gets through into the playoffs, they will begin tomorrow. But lots of reaction to the way things have gone down so far. Certainly from FNS on what he's expecting from PRX, but also Demon1. He would like to have been competing here at the World Championship. NRG didn't even make it, but of course Demon1 didn't because he was benched from the team not that long ago. Rumours as to what's going to happen next season with Demon1 of course are going around, but Demon1 basically says, look, I won the MVP at this event last year. I'm so much better than so many of these players and teams. Why am I not there competing to try and defend my trophy? Very much interested to your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Of course, the Fnatic boys getting into things. How favoured should Fnatic be for this event right now? Because they've looked increasingly strong over recent weeks. Since Heroes come in, they seem to have got in some respects better and better. They're not the favourites right now. Lev are certainly looking very good. G2 are certainly looking very good. PRX though, questions to be asked on that one. Absolutely. Gen.G though are in the conversation, and who knows what's going to happen. Fnatic versus DRX, but if Fnatic come out and handle business against DRX effectively tomorrow, they will go into me as one of the chief contenders. But the issue for Fnatic is that historically, yes, they can make it deep in tournaments. Can they get over the line? That is the question, and that's kind of the thing that's restricting me right now from saying that Fnatic are going to win this tournament. Is just that I think they can easily make it to top 3, top 4, but whether they can capitalize, that is still something that I'm not fully convinced that they can, given the season that they've had. Artis, of course, will be seeing how that's going. He obviously was getting into some beef over the last couple of days because he was predicting all of the Asian teams, as he described them, to bow out of the tournament. But actually, as it's turned out so far, the regions seem to be very evenly matched. And it's actually really exciting, not just for this tournament, but for the future of VALORANT, that every single region right now is putting on a clinic. And, well, we'll see the data on that over the coming minutes here. Obviously, Fnatic and Durka, they've had a bit of a back and forth again, but I wanted to kind of break down or go through the final series of the first round of group stages, and that was just after the PRX guys had gone down. Obviously, FNS was not happy with their performance in that, and we'll see some more evidence of that here in a second. That was Edward Gaming versus FNS Esports. This was a very difficult kind of coin toss series to call, but Edward Gaming were coming in with the general feeling that, well, internationally, they don't do so well. However, I will say that CNED's record against Chinese teams is terrible. Like, he does tend to get farmed by Chinese rosters. So that's what happened to FNS Esports again. And this series was, competitive, but there were great moments by Smoggy, great moments by Nobody, and the maps in the end were, not, okay, it's a competitive series, but it's not like Edward Gaming were especially pushed. I mean, the first half of the Lotus, they dominated it. FNS Esports made a bit of a comeback, but it wasn't good enough. And then it was a pretty similar story on the Bind. 13-10 in the end on that map. That was their map pick. Smoggy with a great map there on the Brimstone. So yes, Edward start off the tournament well. FNS Esports are good, no doubt, but Edward are looking pretty nice as well. So they advance in their groups, and that honestly means the bracket down there in especially that group is pretty mega. Of course, it's a win 2 before you lose to GSL style situation. But yeah, EDG, they take down FNS Esports, obviously theoretically a competitive team. That's going to make things tough for PRX as well, no doubt about that. Edward will play G2 for a spot in the playoffs, and this is now how things look. So I'll share a couple of clips for you guys in a second, but just the quick recap here of the opening couple of rounds. Fnatic took down Bilibili, DRX took down Crew Esports. They will play in the winners finals tomorrow, and the winner of that of course goes through straight to the playoffs. 8 teams will qualify for the playoffs out of what we currently have 16 teams remaining. Gen.G Heretics, that's the same story there. So tomorrow we get the 2 winners games, then we get the 2 winners games, Lev versus Trace, and then Edward versus G2 from the other groups. And then on the 8th and the 9th, that's then when we get to the elimination games. So Bilibili versus Crew. Sentinels versus FPX is a really interesting one because, I mean, look, FPX right now they've been the best Chinese international performer of the last year, really, despite the fact that they keep getting incredibly difficult draws. And it's happened again here. They went down to Team Heretics, but in an incredibly close series. So Sentinels are going to be the favourites, but probably not by much, in my opinion. Like, I think FPX could definitely win this series. And given the fact that Trace Esports are looking good and Edward are looking good, I'm expecting FPS to look really good as well. So I think Sentinels have a job on their hands there. And then on the 9th, it's them Talent versus Vitality. and FNS Esports versus PRX, which is a massively important game. And this group, actually Group D, given the fact that it would seem to be turning up and FNS Esports are never going to be a complete walkover, this is turning into a real group of death in its own right, I would say right now. But a couple of clips to share from FNS and also from Demon1.
Here's what I'm thinking. All right, if I'm PRX, we just go back to default comps. Default. All default. No cooking anymore. No more cooks. Nothing. Zero cooking allowed. We play the meta, and that is it. No more cooking. There's just no point. It's not happening for us. It's GG. Yeah, we got scraped, man. That's all there is to it. This is an ultimate team diff again. You think Raisners really got PRs? Didn't get anybody else. I don't think it affected them that badly. I just think they get very, I feel like the amount they win in their region and how dominant they are in their region, minus playing against Gen.G and DRX, because they consistently make these tournaments, it kind of leaves them in the mindset that everything they're doing is fine. And I just think that's a incorrect way to think. That's just my personal opinion. I don't never in practice with these guys. It just feels that way from the outside looking in. And I don't know. Either way, I hope the one change they do make is just trying meta. They have time to be able to go back to comps that are just completely standard, and I want to see them play regular Valorant. Because with the amount of skill that they have, if they just played like with the rest of the meta, played within the meta, sorry, I feel like they would just be so good.
It's actually crazy now to see myself in chimps right now. Whatever. Seeing some of these other players and teams in here, but not me, is actually crazy. Yo, all of these walkouts are f***ing mid. They walk out and they're immediately on the stage already. WWE ring entrance, that's what they did last year for everything. Like walk up a ramp and everything. Like bro, these walkouts are so mid, bro. Hold on, like let me find something real quick, bro. And then compare it to this. Like look at these different, look at this difference, bro. This is last year groups. Compared to this year groups, how did it get worse? How did it get worse? Like they had like a longer walkout, better music, better lighting. Like they don't even have this. It's just like a stage. They didn't even like do anything there. It just doesn't feel that good as like a viewer. China walkout quick, bro. They put all the budget on China. I'm not even lying.
So I think Demon1 is understandably feeling aggrieved at the way that things currently look here at the World Championship, because he's looking at some of these teams, and to be fair, most of the teams so far played pretty well. Like there's not really been a team that's massively underperformed. Okay, Sintels haven't looked great compared to maybe their expectations, but they've only played one game. Same story for PRX, but they've only played one game. So difficult to say, but Demon1 is definitely looking at some of these guys, looking at the level of play and saying, damn, I literally won this event last year with Evil Geniuses. I'm not even there this year to try and defend the crown. And that's just how things go. He was brought into NRG. Things, obviously, there was clearly some drama there behind the scenes, whether we don't really know what happened at NRG. We shall see. But Chet is now gone. They've obviously got rid of Victor as well. Crashies is going to stay. The general theory goes that Demon1 ain't going anywhere, right? I don't think they're going to get rid of him. The theory goes that maybe bring in Potter, new head coach of the team. Pretty sure that's what Zelsis suggested to FNS, although he didn't necessarily seem to agree. But look, they're making moves over there. Demon1 though, letting him go from NRG I think would be a big mistake. We know what this guy's capable of. So it seems like NRG will likely build a roster next year to try and build around Demon1 again, and therefore get Demon1 in some respects back to the World Championship. But of course, he's not going to be happy, and for understandable reasons, about you know, the way this has gone so far. And I think this is in some ways integral to Demon1's kind of you know, mindset and personality, that he fundamentally and firmly believes that he is better than a lot of these players that are actually at the tournament. And I think, you know, he's probably right to think exactly that way in many respects. But you know, I think that's one of the elements that makes him a good player, is that he's looking at these games thinking, damn, like, why aren't I there? Like, I'm way better than these guys, basically. He's not, though, on this list, of course, all-time kill leaders at the World Championship. This is now updated. Aspas, Durka, Buzz, etc., etc. So yeah, yeah, Durka and Buzz have moved up the list because they're there, and Les isn't there, of course. And Alpha, the same thing applies. Of course, Boaster is there, but he's actually gone down because Kesnit just got more kills. But this was the data that I wanted to mention for you guys earlier, in the fact that every single region so far has 2 winners and 2 losers. So all of the teams have now played, and of every single region, you know, G2 won, Lev won, but Crew and Sentinels lost. Edward won, Trace Esports won, the other 2 guys lost. Fnatic, of course, and Heretics, and then Gen.G and PRX, they won at their respective games. So pretty incredible how this actually worked out so far, and long may this continue in many respects, because I'm certainly hoping that the international competitiveness, certainly of the Chinese region, is going to become increasingly stronger, and right now it seems that will be the case. But yeah, the second round games are due to get underway tomorrow morning. Very much intrigued to your thoughts, as always, and all this stuff in the comment section below. These are just the top performers of the day, as Will Minder pointed out. Smoggy and Chichu were right up there, of course, for Redwood Gaming, and then it was effectively the G2 guys that took down PRX very comfortably indeed. Leaf, Trent, and Jonah P. So hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.